Hello, everyone. I'm truly excited today. I've got a very special guest and a friend in my SDJ podcast. She is the founder of Savoir, Faire Academy. She's an author. She is also Miss India East. She has really trained a lot of pageant winners, and she's an image and an etiquette consultant as well. So she's got a lot of accolades to herself. And I'm truly honored, and it's a privilege to have her on the new episode. We have the one and only Miss Konkana Bakshi with me. We're going to share insights on her journey and how she has been really shaping the grooming structure in India today. So, welcome, Konkana, to the new episode. I'm truly delighted to have you with me on this new chat with me, which we'll be going to do and share insights on your journey. So, yeah, a warm welcome to you, first of all.
Thank you very much for having me over, Siddharth. I'm delighted to join you in your podcast, and congratulations for doing so well.
Thank you so much. So to begin with, I want to know, before etiquette became your profession, was there your own sense of grace growing up? What was the kind, I want to know a little bit on that.
Very interesting question, and thank you for asking that. Not many people ask me that question when I give interviews. What happened is I was born and bred in Calcutta, where you're from, okay? And the Calcutta society is very British. We
Yeah.
do pay a lot of attention to manners and etiquette, and grace and consideration and kindness. It's a part of us growing up. I'm Bengali, and Bengali culture is a lot about that. Calcutta is obviously very, very polished, as you know, compared to the rest of India. And I think it's a certain upbringing. Also, what happens is I went to a finishing school in Switzerland when I was very young. And my grandfather sent me to that finishing school because he thought I would be very eligible for marriage. I can assure you that did not work out. But what happened when I went to finishing school very early in Cologne, in Switzerland. And when I was growing up in Bombay, I moved to Bombay when I was about perhaps 14 years old. And when I was growing up, I found Bombay society to be very casual. And you're from Calcutta. We a lot of us spend summers in England,
Yeah.
right? From Calcutta. So what happens when I was sort of spending my teenage years in Bombay. I saw Bombay is very friendly, like New York. People are very wealthy, but the society is very casual, which was a bit of a culture shock for me. For example, born and bred in Calcutta.
Yeah.
But however, the people in Bombay are very, very nice, very helpful, not snobbish at all, very, very successful, very wealthy, and most importantly, the society is very, very kind. And which was fascinating for me and extremely happy that I was growing up. I sort of spent my teenage years in Bombay.
Okay.
Now, what happened is my mother was working for the diamond industry, and one of the diamond merchants wanted to host Martin Rappaport, who basically grades diamonds. The Rappaports grades diamond. Now, he wanted to host the Jewish businessman Martin Rappaport in a certain way, and they knew about me that I'm a little prim and proper teenager.
Okay.
So one of the gentlemen requested if I could host it, and I did, and it was a massive success. And I thought, the business world in Bombay, especially the newer business world in Bombay, could do with etiquette, especially with international business protocol and business etiquette and cross-cultural awareness. It's a good thing to know because people do business with people after all.
Okay. But do you think, elegance is learned, or is it observed or experienced through life? What is your take on that?
It is learned because also what happened is certain people play role models in your life in your formative years. Could be a teacher, could be a grandmother, could be a mother. And it's not necessary that you learn everything from your parents. Your source of inspiration could be perhaps from your teachers. Like when I was growing up, I went to several finishing school. The first one was Switzerland, but I also learned myself in Paris, in London, and I was exposed to several European finishing school consultants in my formative years. So my personality, my decorum sort of absorbed that information and their decorum as well growing up. So I think elegance is sort of experienced and internalized in a formative years, but even later in life, you can learn it. It's also about, for example, it's a choice you make, you know,
Right.
elegant lifestyle, elegance, being compassionate, being well turned out. It's a choice of
Right.
lifestyle that you make. It has got nothing to do with wealth. It has got nothing to do with success. And it's just a choice. Also, it's a certain upbringing. Like, for example, if I have children tomorrow in future for the grace by the grace of God, I would obviously inculcate certain manners when my child is growing up at a young age, because children actually learn from their mothers and their grandmothers in first 7 years, and then of course you have your teachers who inspire you for who you become.
Right. It's true because a lot of people in times today think that etiquette only is about dining rules, but you are really redefining etiquette in today's world. So, truly kudos to you on that. Also, I want to know, you've written a book, I want you to share some insights with our viewers today about the book that you've written.
It's called The Art of Savoir Faire, Social Skills and Professional Grace. Allow me to call you and show you the copy of the book.
Right.
And what happens is The Art of Savoir Faire, Social Skills and Professional Grace is actually written for our generation, young, thriving entrepreneurs. What happened is we are in this fast paced world. When I was growing up and becoming an etiquette consultant, I had to learn thick Bibles of
Right.
etiquette, which is definitely not a page turner. But what happens is I wanted to write a book which is very quick to read
Right.
for people who want to learn etiquette in a very pragmatic, modern way. They don't need to learn etiquette in a very traditional form or things like that, because, of course, people don't have the time or the patience for it anymore, right? This is The Art of Savoir Faire,
Okay.
Social Skills and Professional Grace. Very quick read. Even if you don't want to go to a finishing school, you can simply read this book. You order this book with us. And also, what happens is we have demonstrated everything
Okay.
visually. So if you can see the dining etiquette, for example, everything is done with a photo shoot. So you can learn, you can simply glance through it
Okay.
and very quick and efficient read. You can, if you have a 2 hour flight or 1.5 hours flight, and you can finish this book.
Lovely. According to you, what is the difference, between being classy and acting classy? A lot of people are trying to be classy, but then a lot of people are classy. And do you think, can elegance exist without kindness?
Not at all. Elegance does not exist without kindness at all. Because what happens is there are a lot of etiquette consultants all over the world
Right,
try to teach manners. It's all about teacups and tiaras. Etiquette is not about teacups and tiaras. It's about consideration, respect, and honesty.
right,
So etiquette starts with ethics, consideration, respect, honesty, kindness. Without those values, manners have very little values. It's simply a futile quest. So the facade of elegance does not work if you do not have the principles of etiquette, which starts with ethics, consideration, respect, and honesty.
okay. What are the three kind of social skills, that every young professional should have, in today's world?
Three social skills. Number one, one must get rid of social anxiety. After social media came in the world, what happened? A lot of people absorbed in social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc., etc. So people have forgotten to build relationship with newer people. So social anxiety in society is very, very prominent, and the only way to get rid of social anxiety is not to be a wallflower, not to be so introvert that you don't get out of the house. You
Right,
have to go out and
right,
build relationship with new people. Now listen, the difference is here. You're very comfortable with people you grew up with, your friends or family, etc. The trick is not to socialize with them. The
right,
trick is to socialize and build relationship with new people. And that's the only way to get rid of social anxiety. And the other skills, I would say, of course, learn to introduce people. I see that with a lot of uh, people, even in the upper class society, people forget to introduce each other.
Right.
So right kind of introduction protocol should be learned, and it has to be practiced in society, social and business situations, both. And the third thing would be, I think, learn to make a very good first impression, which actually starts with the first 7 seconds. What happens is you build relationship with the first 7 seconds, and you produce oxytocin. You produce a hormone called oxytocin, which is actually a hormone that a mother and a child produce when the mother is in labor, and that's why the child and the mother form a better relationship, which I learned with a London etiquette consultant. Actually, it's fabulous. What happens? Oxytocin is a hormone of trust. So when the first impression is a good one, you form the hormone of trust. You form trust when the first impression is very good one. Now, if you have social anxiety, if you have confidence issue, you will not be able to build the first impression, the
Right.
first 7 seconds of relationship. So that you need to learn.
Right. You've trained so many pageant winners, but is there any particular journey, which has really inspired you emotionally and you were very proud of any of your students?
Well, I think first of all, Miss India only sends me the top three girls.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, girls who are representing themselves for Miss World, Miss Universe, and Miss the other one I forget, Miss Diva or something like that it is called. So
Okay.
three winners who are representing India in the world platform. The
Right.
girls are very well trained, okay, very mature for their age. They are
Right.
not normal 18 to 23-year-old girls. They are very, very polished and very well turned out. Now, Savoir Faire Academy does does not teach basic etiquette.
Okay.
We are not a grooming platform for people who need basic manners and etiquette. I'm sure normally the middle class to the upper middle class, they already know that.
Yeah.
What we teach is advanced level of etiquette through psychological anecdotes, through historical anecdotes, through training um, with the mindset, so that the etiquette is internalized in a way that they don't really need to go to another finishing school ever in life. Also, people who are very successful, for example, they are already, internationally acclaimed or very well traveled. They think they don't need etiquette. And that's exactly why I started Savoir Faire Academy, not for the people who need basic manners.
Okay.
It's for advanced level of etiquette, which is actually taught through historical anecdotes and psychological way of training my clients so that they absorb the information in a very pragmatic manner and they can start internalizing it in their business relationship and social relationship, etc. India is a very business community, right? I
Mhm.
deal with very smart
Yeah.
entrepreneurs from Marwari Gujarati community.
Right.
Now, of course, their mindset is why should I spend that much money in Savoir Faire Academy? Savoir Faire Academy is considered a very expensive finishing school. Their
Right.
mindset is why would I spend the money if there is no return on investment? So,
Yeah.
with that mindset, I started my business. I
Right.
did not want to cater to the everybody cater
Okay.
to everybody. I knew that my niche is different
Right.
and I have to make peace with it. I can't make everybody happy. And I created my curriculum anyway, in a way that it actually for people who are very internationally, um, you know, um, well traveled and very successful themselves.
Got it.
Uh, Everybody can teach manners to people who have no manners. What
Right.
do you teach people who are very, very well turned out themselves? It
Right.
has to be a very advanced level of etiquette, otherwise, they won't listen to you, right?
Right. Right.
Also, my clientele are very successful people in their 40s and 50s. So, obviously, I had to train myself to train my clients in a way that they don't get that kind of information anywhere else, right? So, the return on investment The Indian community is like the Jewish community. They're price sensitive. So
Yeah.
obviously the return on investment in their mindset would be, why should I spend that money in a finishing school?
Right.
Okay. So the ROI should make sense for them simply because I cater to the business world.
Right. I want to know also, probably if I see 5 years down the line, where do I see you, in terms of your professional front, whether it's coming to expanding your business, what is the goals which, I'm sure everyone sets targets for themselves. So what is the kind of targets which you've set for yourself that you're really wanting to achieve?
If you asked me this question 5 years ago, I would have probably told you I would start to practice in Dubai or New York, etc. I
Okay.
haven't started my practice in Dubai. I wanted to in 2019, then the COVID happened, but I have a license to practice in New York City. Today, if you ask me, Siddharth, I'm very happy where I am. You know what I mean? I'm not, I don't uh, look at Savoir. Faire. My CEO told me, "Oh, do you want to expand it? We should raise funds, etc.,
Yeah.
etc." I know what I can offer. How much can I deliver? I don't want investors in my company because I don't want to be answerable to people, and I'm very happy to cater to the niche that I'm catering to. It's the
Right.
upper class society, upper class entrepreneurs, and the business family kids
Yeah.
or industrialists. I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that, and I think I am very content and happy where I am today. So I wish to continue to be where I am today.
Right. It takes a very bold move. In fact, it takes a lot of guts to start your own business. It's not simple and it's not an easy road. But there are a lot of women entrepreneurs, especially because I stand for women empowerment. So I want to know, especially for the young women entrepreneurs who want to start their own business, what are the kind of attributes one must have? You think that, can really push them to start their own business, or what is that kind of message you can tell them, from your side, being an entrepreneur yourself? Which can probably help them kickstart their business.
I think starting young really helps because you have nothing to lose.
Right.
I started Savoir when I was 20, and I did not think that, oh, well, Savoir will become, or I learned to be an international consultant. I never even taught that time. I used to sort of recruit very senior level of consultants
Right.
like Dilip Cherian, Sabira Merchant, John T. Rhodes on different sort of curriculum for etiquette, for fitness, for personal branding, for conflict resolution, negotiations, etc. So I thought, well, I have nothing to do, so let's start the business. I used to look at the business side of things, did not teach that time. But
Mm.
as and when I was becoming more sophisticated and older, I became a consultant because I thought the way I can teach my clients, nobody else can, you
Right.
know. And also, what happens, starting young really helps rather than starting in 30s or 40s. I mean, it's never too late to start. You should start. Becoming an entrepreneur, it's like, how do I say that? It's addictive,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
Um, Also, starting a business, one should know that it's not a hobby. A business should make money. If the business
Yeah.
is not making money, it's a hobby,
Right.
right? So if you're starting your business with your own money rather than your father's money or your husband's money, that really pushes you to sort of succeed because you have no way out. I invested my wedding fund in Savoir Academy. Um, and that's how I did it. I didn't take money from anybody. I think that really helps because when you sort of jump into the sea, you sink or swim.
Right. True. Okay. And I also want to know, what probably the first impressions, what matters the most? Is it the body language? Is it the voice? Is it the energy or the attire, according to you?
It's really energy. It's how you make somebody feel in your company.
Right.
That is very, very, very important. If I meet you for the very first time and you feel threatened by me, you're intimidated by my success, my beauty, anything, then it actually goes against etiquette. That
Right.
means I am not able to make you feel comfortable. The
Right.
most prominent and very successful people in the world
Yeah.
make the other person feel comfortable in their company when they meet someone for the very first time. And that is humility. What
Right.
do we see when we look at Kumar Mangalam Birla or
Right.
Amitabh Bachchan? Do they threaten people or
Yeah.
do they make the other person feel comfortable?
Right.
That's why we admired them, right?
True,
And
true.
who are they? They are the most successful people in the world.
Right,
Now, um, pride or snobbish behavior, that's actually against etiquette.
right.
I see that a lot that, sometimes people with success or wealth, they try to intimidate the other person and come with a sense of authority, which is
Yeah,
a good thing. You should not lose your balance from authority to approachability.
right.
There's a thin line between it, but you should definitely not make people feel um, intimidated by you.
Yeah, but yeah, that's going to be my next question. In fact, I was going to ask you that, how do how do you respond to people, who think etiquette training is superficial?
Unless they come to Savoir Faire Academy, I am not going to try and you know, rebel against anything. People should
Okay.
think what they think.
Right.
Only once they attend my classes, and you can see the reviews in my
Yeah.
videos,
Yeah.
what they talk about it. We do not teach etiquette like other Indian consultants
Okay.
teach. We teach in a very international level. People from the, we don't cater to the very working class society. We cater to the upper class, to the elite. So
Right.
obviously there is a reason for them to choose Savoir Faire Academy, even if it is premium, even if it is
Right.
expensive, because
Right.
we teach in a very advanced level. We teach in a very, very different way. I
Right.
don't believe in teaching etiquette for today's
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
which is all about, oh, do it like this, or do
Yeah.
it like that. It's all about very man is focused. It's very, very irrelevant.
Right.
Etiquette in the 1800s or even in 90s was very different than what it is today.
Right.
Today's women are thriving in the business world. They need to negotiate. They need to learn to negotiate. They need to learn to crack a deal over a business meeting. That is what we teach.
Right.
We teach negotiation through consideration, respect, and honesty. We teach how do you crack the deal with your presence. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that is the whole idea of teaching, um, you know, business and social etiquette.
No, and I couldn't agree more because I've seen all your videos, the way kind of passion and the kind of personal information which you share with your clients, it's truly commendable. And, kudos to you for all the great work that you're doing. I'm in fact, me and myself, I am inspired, at so many times that, you think you know everything, but you still don't. And I keep learning also, everything because see, life is a learning experience. You grow every day and you learn so much. So I've been following your work. I'm truly inspired myself, with the amazing things which you've done for so long. So even consistency plays a key. A lot of people are not consistent with their work, but the way you have really built your brand is truly, truly commendable. So I wanted to first of all congratulate you, from my heart on that. Mm, mm,
Thank you very much. When it comes to consistency, I'd love to add something if you may give me the
yeah,
permission.
sure, sure.
With success, it doesn't come in one day.
Yeah,
Okay. You have to be consistent and do the boring job and face many, many, many failures. I don't get intimidated when people call me a very expensive teacher
right,
because once the client come to Savoir Faire Academy, I know they never go anywhere else. And if they can afford it, they will
right,
only come to me.
right,
So do not be defeated by challenges,
right,
right? You cater to your niche and you stick to that.
right,
Now, what happens is success comes with consistency.
right.
It's not there is no fun in overnight success. It's ephemeral
Yeah,
and superficial. It's not long lasting. So, consistency is very, very important in the world of business because what happens is I see so many young people of our
yeah,
generation, Siddharth, they're
yeah,
doing one thing today, another thing tomorrow,
yeah,
right? Because they have the bandwidth to do that. For
yeah,
example, maybe a rich father or a rich husband. Today I want to be a influencer. Tomorrow I want to be a designer. Day
yeah,
after tomorrow I want to be an image consultant. It doesn't work that way. You
yeah.
know what I mean? You have to be consistent. You have to do the boring job.
Right. Great. So now it comes to a fun segment. This is the rapid fire round. Though I know you
Yes.
personally, it's just to know you better. So these are going to be quick answers from your side. So to begin with, my first one would be one habit that instantly elevates your personality.
one habit that instantly elevate my personality. I think you have to ask that question to people who know me. I'm not sure.
But according to you, what do you say if you had to say it to yourself?
Elevate my personality.
Yeah.
I think I'm very generous and I'm sort of a little too gullible. I'm not sure if it's
Okay.
a good or a bad thing.
Okay. Charm or charisma? Which is more powerful
Charisma,
according to you?
charisma,
Charisma. Okay. A social habit you wish would make a comeback.
chivalry.
Okay. What is that one motto you stand by?
Be ambitious and work hard.
Okay. Elegance to you is.
Consideration, respect, and honesty. Kindness, compassion.
Okay. What is the kind of genre of music that you go to, when you're having a stressful day?
Oh my gosh, I'm a 70-year-old stuck in a 30-year-old body. I listen to jazz, Western classical music like Beethoven, Mozart, Traumeré, whatever, Rachmaninoff, and I'm very old school.
Okay. What is the biggest life lesson etiquette has taught you?
Wealth is not necessarily brings you sophistication.
If someone feels they don't belong in the elite space, what would you tell them?
Oh, that's irrelevant.
Okay.
Elite space. What is elite space? Elite starts with class, sophistication,
Right.
education, refinement, and that can be learned if you go to the right finishing school.
Right.
Again, you have to change your mindset, and that's what a good consultant does, right?
Right.
Change the mindset of the client,
The
or at
one,
least influence them, persuade them to believe in a different way.
the one big difference according to you us as millennials and Gen Zs of today.
Mm, Gen Zs are a lot more rebellious, which is not a bad thing.
Okay.
I think they really stand by their ground and, they command, they
Right.
demand, they try to change the society, which is not a bad thing. I'm a millennial. Well,
Right.
I think I am not as rebellious as a Gen Z would be, perhaps, but also I'm very old school.
Right.
So, um,
Okay. My final question would be, if today you have to give a message, probably going back to your younger self, what would that message be to your younger self that you would like to give today?
what message would I give to my younger self? Good question. Never thought about it. I think I would love, I wish I had more fun growing up. I think I was
Okay.
too focused in my career. I think I was too focused in achieving success,
Right.
ambition, etc. So what happened is I lost a lot of my friends. I
Yeah.
simply did not have I wouldn't say time. I think I did not have um, the interest to socialize, party, have fun growing up,
Right.
because my focus was so ferociously success. Because you see, I had to invest all my money in Savoir, Faire Academy when I was 20. And
Right.
then when I was 22, my mother passed away. So a lot of responsibility, pragmatic responsibilities of life hit me. And my brother was very young, and thankfully, he helped me in a way that I am who I am because of him.
Right.
He's 4 years younger than me, but he's really, really very good boy and a very, mature boy. We both had to grow up at a very young age because of our circumstances.
Right.
I wish things were different. So my brother and I, we both had a different life, a little more, life that was catered to other kids of our generation.
Right. I would just want to say, I'm so proud of the journey. It's been such a meaningful life that you're living, and that's what you are today. So kudos to all the efforts, and I also keep telling all our common friends also, I'm so proud in terms of your journey. It's actually an inspiration. And I'm so happy to see you succeed and hope to also see you on the other side really soon. So thank you so much, Konkana, for this lovely chat. It was truly wonderful, and I'll see you really soon then.
Thank you very much for having me over. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you, Siddharth.
Thank
And
you.
thank you once again. I hope to see you soon very well.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. I wish you all the very best for everything.
Thank you.